You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there. Welcome to the Flash and Blade podcast. I'm Siobhan. In the last film I ever saw, they wore suits and they wore ties. I thought of home. My heart was there. It was the last film I ever saw. Anyway, telling me lies this evening are my plucky girl assistants, the Brian.
Hello.
And someone pointing down.
Yeah, he's diagonal on my screen.
Ah, right. He's that way. I always get confused. Someone's Zoom.
On Twitch, I'm
Just
up,
for the t-shirt.
So.
If you want to complain about the t-shirt, feel free. There you go.
Have you noticed we're fading from white to black today? I'm in grey.
Ah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Sorry, I'm a bit slow on the uptake there, if I'm honest with you.
We're doing
Hey, Retta.
grayscales. Hi, Retta.
Yes. Now, there's a ranting coming, but we'll get to that because there's been some good news. There's been some bad news. Oh, by the way, my electricity might run out halfway through the show. Just a word of warning.
Is there not enough of it in the world?
I find it ironic that you also have an electric car.
Yeah, I can actually run the house off the car if I wanted to. But, no, I can.
Okay.
I haven't got all the bits and pieces to do it with, but it is possible. I know because Adam told me. Adam knows it.
Did Adam tell you how?
No. He tells me everything I've learned, but not everything he's learned. Very sensible.
He tells you just what you need to know.
Oh, really? You see, you don't get that one. Him down there, he'll understand that one. Yeah. And we've also got a couple of dialects, like I say, we'll talk about those afterwards. First things first, sad news. This week we lost Tony Selby, who was Sabalom Glitz, and today we lost John Chalice, who I was going to say was Boise, and of course he was Boise in Only Fools and Horses, but he was Scorby in The Seeds of Doom.
He was a violent man.
Yes. Not the actor. We'd better point that out.
We might have been.
Yeah, but we don't know that, and I'm not going to say that on the day he's dead.
No.
And there was a thing. Oh, yes, because Tony Selby is also in a 70s sitcom called Get Some In, based about the Royal Air Force National Service, when we had conscription back in the day. And he played this evil bell end called Corporal Marsh. And he loved that role. You could tell he just relished that role. He was brilliant in it. But yes, so a couple of sad bits, to be fair. Some good news, though. Brian, over to you. How's your week been?
I've had a week of ups and downs.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been to the fairground?
Been on a boat?
No. Emotional ups and downs. Just, I was at one point informed that I wasn't going to be considered for a position. And so just as I was preparing for emotional Harry Carey, I found out I had gotten the position.
And
nobody knows how, nobody knows why. It's one of those.
Don't question it, Brian. Just grab it and run.
I'm not going to question it too much. I'm grabbing the brass ring and I'm jumping with it.
Yeah, damn straight.
And today I got a dash cam and put on my car.
Oh, it's underneath.
Crappy drivers
down,
beware.
But,
you will be outed.
New YouTube channel for you, Brian.
I already have the name already reserved and everything.
Oh, do tell me. Come on, what is it?
Crappy Drivers of Central New York.
Ordinarily,
I wouldn't do without my dash cam. I've got one of those that's got one at the front, one at the
Yeah, me too. Yep.
I do have a dash cam, but the car isn't technically mine. I have to pay to get it put in, and then I'll have to pay to have it removed in a couple of years.
Yes, but think about in between time. In between then and now, then it's really for your protection.
I know. What I might just do is plug it in and just... Because, I hardly ever go anywhere. The past few weeks have been exceptional for me. My car is now just past... It's on 1601 miles. I'm waiting for the 100 more.
Yes, well, you say that now, but coming up, we do have a quest for you. You will be going on a quest.
I will be going on a quest. Yes. Right.
So it may...
this is a new saga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wheel in the Greek chorus. But we need to address the old saga first. But your week has been good, yes?
My week ended well.
Ended well. That's how you
ended
want it,
well.
Isn't it? That's good. El Sinistero.
Well, as you know, I've got a cover job to kind of explain my massive multi-billion pound income. It's just an office job. And we had a voluntary return to the office this week after the plague. And so every 3 days a week, I'm driving to the office every week, which is interesting.
It's a new OSIF as well, isn't it, for you?
For me, yes.
Yeah.
I really missed traffic when we were in lockdown over here. It was wonderful. There was no one. I could get to work in like 5 minutes. It was great.
Levels are practically up to normal yet.
They are. The traffic's back to normal, I'm afraid. And
yeah.
But
they haven't learned a thing. No. They just left it down to me to get an electric car to save the planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like when I'm driving.
Wait!
I'm
you
saving
didn't get the memo?
planet. What?
You didn't get the memo?
There's a memo.
The minute you got the electric car, we were all supposed to get back on the road.
This explains a great deal. Why I've been late to people recently, including my own brother's funeral.
See?
M25.
It's Illuminati at work.
It is. Now then, 2 sagas. First of all, let's go for Garden Gate Saga. Haven't heard too much at the moment. Guinness got 10 days to reply because I haven't put the complaint in. Occupational therapy I put the complaint in. Hopefully, that'll carry a bit more stick with it, a bit of a heavier stick. Or they'll turn around and say, I'm sorry, but only residents can make complaints. And then, new rant, but it's an old rant, but it's a new rant. Please look beneath me, boys and girls. Can you see what I see? We see 2 Daleks. Well, we see 2 Mark III travel machines. Whether they're Daleks or not is a whole different matter. Now, we can ignore the one on the left, because it's not important. It doesn't count. It's the Chief Dalek from Day of the Daleks and Frontier in Space. Yeah, big deal. Wonderful. But that little beauty on the right there, which is actually more like the Planet of the Dalek colours than Day of the Daleks, I badly need. This is the Dalek I first remember properly being terrified of. And when I watched Planet of the Daleks, it was in black and white on a small little CRT screen, probably in 405 lines. We're going back a bit. And I desperately want... Well, I've got to buy the double pack, but I desperately want them, and I cannot find them anywhere. The scalpers, on the other hand, are having a whale of a time clearing shelves. I now hand you over to our local correspondent, Dr. Sinister.
Okay, so bit of background for those who are watching who may not be familiar with this, but there is a small cheapy discount chain of supermarkets in the UK. They're not bad, actually, called B&M, Bandma, as I call them. And they tend to have quite a big toy selection in some of their larger stores.
They do.
There's 2 near me. There's one very near me, like 2 minutes walk away, and it's not that big. And there's a larger one in town. And essentially, every year they have at least 2, sometimes 3 B&M exclusive Doctor Who releases. Now, this is one of so they have several. They have a few different lines. They've done like packs of companions. They've done unit soldiers. One of the packs to come out this month is Ian Chesterton and the Alien Vord.
And I find that quite amazing. We're
Yeah.
getting Series 1 enemies. I
Now-
mean, that's
yeah.
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'll come back to the Vord in a sec and how I
Are
was
they
able
alien?
to get these. There's another pack of Sensorites which I haven't got yet.
I thought you'd got that.
I haven't got the Sensorites yet. No.
Oh.
But here's the thing. The thing that people get most excited about are the Dalek packs. Now, they usually consist of 2 Daleks, and they have a range called History of the Daleks. And we are up to, they've just released History of the Daleks Set 5 and History of the Daleks Set 7. Now, there is a reason for this.
Good.
I will
You're gonna
explain.
it. Well, fair enough. You do it.
Um,
I'll schlum.
History of the Daleks Set 5, they've got up to Power of the Daleks.
With its colander.
So we have a Dalek with a sieve and a regular Dalek. They're very nicely done. You'll notice the difference in eye stalks.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
I
is
was
not
looking
a,
this up on 6388.
this is not a mistake. This is
No.
deliberate. They
Yeah.
have little, because people are sticklers. The other pack, as you will see on the screen, is Day of the Daleks. Now you'll think to yourself, what happened to pack 6? Well, that's Evil of the Daleks. And the thing is with Evil of the Daleks, if you discount the Emperor Dalek and the Guard Daleks around the Emperor,
Black Dome.
which was just this with a black dome, they're basically the same.
Yeah.
So they've obviously decided to skip that one, probably for next year or later on in the year. No doubt it will come out at some point. But here's the thing. Siobhan mentioned scalpers. Now, like Siobhan, I can't be without my Daleks. You can see up here a portion of my Dalek army.
There are a lot.
There's a lot. I've got them all run along there, and I've got them gone on shelves, and I've got them in chronological order as they appeared in Doctor Who, right? Because I'm sad. But I can't be without my Daleks, and I know how hard these are to get hold of. These packs come in at £20. I pre-ordered. I say pre-ordered. You can't order from B&M directly.
Nope.
I pre-ordered these on eBay from a scalper for 40 quid a pop. So I am part of the problem. I know I'm part of the problem, but I've got no other way of guaranteeing that I will get these. I will not find these in the store.
We've got no way of stopping them until Character Options or B&M start putting a limit on how many each person can have.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with you guys.
I did so basically, and I did the same thing when I bought my PS5. I paid double the money because you still can't get them.
Jesus.
You
Well,
cannot
that's
get
because
them.
of the chip shortage.
That's because of the chip shortage. This is an entirely human-generated problem. Now,
Yeah.
I went to my local B&M, and they were unpacking.
Yes.
And as it happens, I found this set of the Alien Vord and Ian Chesterfield on the shelf, and there were 10 of these packs. I only bought one because I'm not a scalper.
So it's Chester 10.
Chester 10. So I bought one of those packs, and they were unpacking all around the store. And I asked them, I said, do you have any more Doctor Who stuff out the back you haven't unpacked yet? And they said, we've got a full warehouse. We don't know. It's going to take us about a week to clear it. We suggest you come back every day.
That's a
Now,
good way
the
of getting
thing is-
repeat business.
I think this is partially because we have a shortage of 100,000 lorry drivers in the UK at the moment,
Yep.
which is partially Brexit.
And partially isolation.
Yeah.
Isolation.
So I think what B&M have had is they've had a backlog in deliveries. They've had all this stuff dumped on them in one go, and they're struggling to unpack it. Anyway, needless to say, I went back to B&M on Saturday, the day after I bought these, and they had all gone. Now, I guarantee you, there are not that many Doctor Who fans where I live. They have been
There's you and
bought,
Thomas, essentially.
yeah, and Ian.
Redden?
Yes. So I can almost guarantee you that they have been bought in bulk by somebody who is going to double the price on them. And this is why I know I'm part of the problem. This is why I have to pre-order my Daleks, because I can't get them otherwise. And the two that you see that on my screen, they're below me. They're from the History of the Daleks set 7. Now, these the gold Dalek you see there on the left has been released before. but the paint scheme was not 100% accurate. He had black mesh on the
I
neck.
have one up there I could bring, but I can't.
I've got one. I've got one too.
Yeah.
This is a more accurate one. There's also a bit of gold around the base, which was missing from the original one. And the other Dalek, it might not be immediately obvious. You might just think that just looks like Genesis of the Daleks. No, it's very, very dark, and it's almost got this metallic color to it. And it, in the hand, the picture here isn't doing it justice, but it's beautiful.
Yes.
Now, Siobhan wants one of these because it's her
One?
favorite Dalek.
One.
More to the point, we want 6.
We need
Not
6.
We're not going to sell them.
No.
We want them for a project.
Yes, we have a project. And by the way, my chief scientist is in.
Now, I do have a question on this little project. Does it
Yes.
involve cloning little Daleks to go on the inside and then run amok and take over the entire...
Not this time.
No,
Not this time.
No, after he did it last time, I put my foot down.
Okay. All right.
Things got messy.
But yeah, no, I'm with you guys on the scalpers because my other obsession, my Transformers, good luck getting any of the exclusives or anything.
Retta's made
One,
nicely.
if they
Sorry.
even make it to America because of the whole shipping issue from China, then you have the scalpers.
It's
And they-
it's Transformers a Hasbro thing,
Hasbro Takara. Yes.
right? Because this same problem crops up with Star Wars toys. Their
Yep.
distribution is absolutely screwed.
And then you get the exclusives over here. You got Target exclusives. You got Walmart exclusives.
Yeah.
Good luck getting any of these damn things.
Retta, if
I
can-
pretty much gave up on the Chug line, the main line, and I've gone mostly third party on almost everything else.
I don't know how genuine kids, can even hope to collect these things these days because you can't find them.
I have to
Yeah.
admit, there have been some people who have bought a load of sets just for themselves of the same one, just so they can say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've got 10 of these" or whatever.
Or to regroup their losses by scalping them.
No, they're unpacked. They're part of their
Oh, okay.
army. Retta has made a point here. Basically, if you put a limit on how many, the scalper will just pay a bunch of kids to buy them.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they do. Target over here has just recently started limiting purchases.
I
Usually
want
in most
that
of the
Dalek there.
Facebook Transformer
that one,
groups,
that one.
scalpers get called out
Damn straight.
hard.
Damn straight.
And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that.
They're an absolute plague on fandom, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
The thing is,
The
I
This
thing
is
is,
know,
right
capitalism
now-
for you boys and
The
girls.
thing
I know
right
I'm
now
not-
is a lot of the shipping.
I know I'm not helping because I am willing to pay double the
But
price.
like
to
you said,
get these
they
things.
put you into a no-win position.
Oh yeah. If I don't pay double the price, I'll be paying 4 or 5 times the price in a couple of years' time when I realise I can't tolerate this gap in my collection.
Well, that's why I look in online stores. Over here, at least for Transformers, we have Big Bad Toy Store, TF Source, The Chosen Prime. To a lesser extent, places like TF Safari. TF Safari is based in China. I recently made an order from there. I'm not expecting it till December, minimum, honestly. That's because worldwide shipping is all sorts of screwed up.
Yeah.
I've heard people have been paying. The shippers in China have been charging extra in order to put your stuff in containers.
I'm on
If
eBay.
you want it to go out immediately, you pay more.
I'm
If
on
you want
eBay.
it to go out whenever they have the actual room and not bump something, you pay your original price. Capitalism.
Here we go then. I was expecting this to come up. One of the old Chief Daleks, they're calling it the Supreme Dalek. It's not a Dalek Supreme, it's a Chief Dalek. Is now up for grabs for £18 on its own. Then we've got the packs. One's $49.99. The other one's $37.95. Now remember, the packs.
What was the
only cost-
original price?
I'm
20.
just about to say £20.
Before I bought these the other day, I looked on eBay and these were going for 70 this set.
The Dalek itself, the single Dalek, grey one.
Yeah.
30 quid.
And that's the one everyone wants because it's a new color.
It is. Another one, £39.90. Both sets are going for £74.95 together. There's another £41.99. And that's about it at the moment. Oh, no, hang on. 23 quid. I might actually get that.
Did you say your chief scientist was online?
He's in on the project.
Oh, okay, right.
There is a grey one here for 23 quid that I would consider buying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not Genesis of the Daleks. Yeah, but the prices are just...
Would you like to hear the hell I'm going through right now?
Go on then.
Yes, please.
So-
that'll cheer me up.
There was a Target exclusive last year. Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Voyagers. It was a 2-pack of Skywarp and Thundercracker. The 2 Seeker molds.
I'm
the
assuming some of
airplanes.
these words are attached to some form of meaning somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right,
you
good.
need to know Transformers.
Ah, no.
All right. So it was a 2-pack of figures. It went for probably around $60. Now, it's being reissued, but it's held up because of China. So
How do you pronounce it?
China.
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 And it's around $65. It was a Target exclusive. Can't find it on the damn shelf anywhere. Anywhere. eBay. $113.75.
How much of a markup is that?
Yeah.
Percentage?
It was originally 65.
Right. So it's 200%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's crazy. Just insane. And people are buying them. Oh, there's one for 120. Brand new.
I mean, the thing is with Daleks, and it's the same with Star Wars Stormtroopers, people like me, we army build.
Yeah.
You know, so, but that isn't the problem here.
No.
I don't think.
It's not the fans that are causing the problem by
No.
buying multiples.
No.
It's the people who are buying multiples just to resell because the world has been that crappy lately that you have to have that kind of a hustle.
Right, well, I am buying
In
the
order to
Grey
get by?
Dalek.
You are.
Yeah, 23 quid. Because if I
Okay.
paid 20 quid for the box, I'm going to end up with an extra gold Dalek that I don't need.
Right. Well, that's 2 between us now.
Stop. All your PayPal information is showing up on Twitch.
Oh, there's nothing actually important there.
Dear.
No, please stop. Thank you.
That's all right. You should get it by the 24th of September. We shall see. If he's any
That's
good, I might get
Friday.
another one.
Friday.
Yeah. That's actually quite an interesting time at the moment because we've got the new issue of Warp coming out, which hopefully I'll be able to read this time because the type print wouldn't be so small. 27th, we've got Evil of the Daleks. And on the 24th, we've got Diablo 2.
Yes.
So,
Next Friday,
Yep.
we're going to start our Enduro.
Well, this isn't the 24-hour. This isn't the charity.
No,
thing.
this is
So-
us just trying to get through the damn thing in a weekend.
Is that actually our plan?
Yes.
I
Get
take
as
it.
far as we can.
I take it you just mean on the one difficulty level, not going back and starting again. And I don't know how long it would take to play the game fully. You see, we'll
see what
see.
happens.
Selfie. Yes,
We'll see what
okay.
happens. If we manage to beat Diablo on Friday, then hell yes, Saturday let's go for nightmare level.
We never managed to do very well at the original Diablo, and we'd get to the cook's house, which was fairly close to where you started, and get slaughtered every time. So we gave up. I think that's fair. 12 p.m. EST, so that's 7 p.m. my time. That's a good time.
Anyway, just to finish off this discussion.
Oh yes, sorry, I was miles away.
We're sorry. Please
If-
continue, Doctor.
No, I was going to say, if anybody would like to send any queries to the Flashing Blade, we are accepting them on the back of a sealed box of Day of the Daleks, and we will read your query out online probably.
For those in America who do not want to have international post, we will be taking them on the back of either the Rainmaker set or the two-pack Seeker set of Transformers.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Well,
And
that
please make sure your packages are securely wrapped so the messages aren't ruined.
That's the problem I've got. You see, I'm worried that my gun stick and sucker arm and whatever, because he's selling them individually.
Yeah, don't just slap a mailing sticker on the box and put it in the post. Put the box in another box
Yeah, with your message.
with
Yeah,
your message.
yeah, please, if you
seal
wouldn't
it
mind.
up and send it.
Or if you just feel compassionate, you can just send me the Grey Daleks. That's all I'm after, the Grey Daleks.
If you do get one with a bent arm, hot water sorts it out.
Yes,
Righty-ho.
hair dryer.
But
Hair dryer is also
recently
helpful.
boiled water.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in a cup. You put the appendage in the cup.
Mm-hmm.
Wait a few seconds. Bring it out. Pull it straight, and then run it under cold water, and it will reset.
Genius. Ladies and gentlemen, science on the Flashing Blade. My God.
We are furthering our edict to educate
We
and
are.
inform.
We are. I am still very annoyed that Sinister's Daleks are the supreme power of the universe when it should be the supreme power of the universe. Genesis of the Daleks rules. That's top continuity. Top level continuity. Anything else after that? The album version, I should
Just
hasten
don't
to
be
say.
afraid if you suddenly see a giant cat's face appear behind those two. It's
Oh,
nothing
well,
to worry
you'll
about.
lose me if that happens. I'll just go
It'll be
into
fine.
high-pitched noises. Oh, Trixie Beans. I'm going to get you sorted out tomorrow as well. Now then, I suppose we better do a thing, what we came here for. Hang on. Let's see.
A thing.
A thing.
A thing.
We're going to do a thing. I can't find it. No, that's not it. No, that's it. Oh, it's at the top. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
And
thing?
now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. Still love that piece of music. So, anyway, a seventh Doctor Who, or in this particular instance, as I always say, the seventh Doctor Who. It's Sylvester's Doctor. You don't argue with that one. Oh no, not if you want your solar system to survive. Immerace, they've landed in the 1940s at a top secret base up in that there Yorkshire. They get surrounded by Marines, and the Doctor bluffs it out rather nicely. And then forges his credentials in front of everybody, hands it over, and it's accepted. Which is quite nice. Well, Judson doesn't say anything when Milligan comes in, because Milligan doesn't see the Doctor doing it. If he'd have looked, he'd have seen that the ink was wet.
Has been raining.
That's true. Yes. Dangerous undercurrents.
Humidity. Yeah.
Yep, it's the Curse of Fenric, boys and girls. One of the great ones from Sylvester's time. I remember watching this on transmission, and having seen that and Ghostlight, thinking, my God, they've got it back. They know what they're doing. They've got it. Yes. And then it stopped. So that's a hint to all future Doctor Who showrunners. Don't get it right. If you get it spot on, you're knackered. I'm sorry, but you are.
So what you're saying is Jodie Whittaker's scripts have been doing us a favour.
Yes, by keeping the programme alive.
Wow.
Yes.
It's pretty meta.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guys, have
By
you been
not being
eating
perfect.
funny brownies or smoking the stuff I smoke for medication?
No, I have a drug
You're
test
a
coming
bit
up.
hippie tonight. That's
My
all I'm saying.
immediate reaction to what you've just said is that the BBC are farming the fans for their money by keeping the show going.
Oh man,
With
we're
subs-
delving
with sub-
down some deep holes here. We need to expose this.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is a rabbit hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn it, we need to expose this. The
It's the
BBC
same- it's the
exploitation of
same-
fans.
It's the same reason the Borg only ever send one cube to Earth. They're farming the Federation.
Yes. Exactly.
The Federation develops improved technology, which the Borg can then assimilate. The BBC are keeping us hanging on and making us spend our money on things like Daleks. And yeah, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not mention Star Trek merchandise roundabout now. Because poor old Star Trek fans, they really get it rough. They are cash cows. It's a sad thing, but they are. Hello, yeah, I know you're there. You're being very cute. She needs to be defleed. And I can't find the deflea treatment, so I'll buy some tomorrow. She's playing in her bed at the moment, rolling over. That's cute.
Perhaps you could go to a different B&M.
I have
get
to.
the flea treatment.
Well, the thing is, we're talking. They're a fair few miles away. So what I need to do is look at Google Maps and work out a route to take me, preferably circular.
Perhaps somebody had an electric car. They could perhaps do this.
Well, I am planning on doing this. It's just I went into town today to check our local B&Ms, and they had no Doctor Who stuff whatsoever. Nothing. And they weren't
The
expecting
Cads.
any. So
Incidentally, whilst we're on the topic of B&M and Star Trek, B&M are carrying the new Mego Star Trek toys.
what are they?
I've seen them.
Little 6-inch scale figures with proper clothing on.
I thought they were like 8-inch.
Maybe I could have got that wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Yeah, sounds about right. But they
Yeah,
they're
the old Mego action figures.
Yeah, I've got quite a few of them. They're all fully clothed, and they're doing TOS motion picture era. There's apparently a Picard floating around, but I haven't seen him, and I'm not really fussed.
And the cliffhanger to part 3 absolutely blew my mind. We play the game again. Time Lord. What the fuck? It just went. The show just went that way after that. And.
We're back to Doctor Who.
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Yes! What we were supposed to be talking about. And then, of course, the Doctor betraying Ace.
Yeah, I'm going to have questions about this whole thing.
All right. Well, who wants to go first? Do you want to go first, Sin? We can wait for his questions.
Okay, I'll go first. So, yes, I saw this when it came out as well, and I was pretty blown away by it. I approached the reviewing with a little bit of trepidation because I was concerned that in my mind it might have been blown out of proportion and overhyped.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not to say I don't have a couple of criticisms about the story, but it's really good. It goes along at a cracking pace. I mean, within 5 seconds of the first opening titles ending, you've already cut from people paddling on the sea to something under the water. You know what I mean? It's just it really bangs along. There are almost too many concepts in this story for the time to justify it. They needed.
This was a Cartmel problem.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Mm.
They needed more time, and as we can see from the Blu-ray releases, well, they've done about 2 or 3 different extended cuts, dropping more stuff in.
The reason I say that is, I might as well cover this off now. It's more apparent in some of the later episodes, but people just turn up in scenes with no linking whatsoever. I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. In episode 4, 1 minute the Doctor's in the underground bunker with all the bombs full of chemicals, and then literally like the next scene he's in another room talking to the Great One, and they're in the middle, and we keep dropping into the middle of a conversation, and then that conversation is abruptly cut off because we've got to move on to the next plot point.
Unfortunately I couldn't rewatch it because I can't find my season 26 box set. I'm having a lot of difficulty finding things at the moment.
Well, the version I rewatched was on BritBox.
I'm taking that as just the basic episodic version?
Yeah.
I do have DVDs and what have you, but I'm very lazy, and I was sitting here and I could do it with a couple of clicks of me.
Oh, it's a terrible thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I did it at lunch.
Oh dear, we've
Yeah.
lost Retta.
But anyway, like I say, there's a lot of stuff going on in this story. It's a pretty solid plot, and like you say, the whole when some of the revelations started coming out in episode 4 about Ace's mum, and then the doctor basically stabs her in the back and totally crushes her in front of everybody else, and it's just kind of, it's such an intricately looped plot, but it's not. It's explained. Everything is explained.
The one thing that gets me about that scene is by that time, I could believe Sylvester's doctor was doing it for real.
Yeah.
Because of how he'd been in the past, like blowing up the Daleks, blowing up the Cybermen. But
Yeah.
know, we're not just talking a little group of them. He destroys planets and everything else like that. So I
Yeah.
could believe him doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very glad it wasn't, it was a bluff, but yeah.
And even the stunt casting of Nicholas Parsons,
Oh, it
It
works
was all right.
brilliantly.
it was all right.
It's
Yeah.
the same with Beryl Reid. I love Beryl Reid and Earthshock. I really do. Now, do you know it's Talk Like a Pirate Day today?
Yar, matey.
And not on this show. Moons of Madness, not on this show. There's only one pirate we're interested in.
Have
Sinister?
you seen my hard drive?
What? Am I being cued for something here?
That was a cue. I said, there's only one pirate we like on this show. Sinister?
Mr. Fibuli?
That'll do! Yes, thank you very much. Oh, I've got no life. Okay, keep talking about Curse of Fenric unless you finished. In which case, don't.
It was shot very well.
Plug that one out of the air.
The special effects were very nice. The hemovores were very well done.
Bit flappy masks at some stage.
Ace had a tan.
She did.
I always thought she looked a bit tanned in this story.
I don't know. Now, Survival wasn't filmed last. That was Ghostlight. I'm just wondering, because of the filming of Survival, could she have got a tan for this?
There is a very small plot loophole. When they ask about the water coming in under the door in the church,
Yes.
the vicar says, "Oh yes, it always comes in when it's raining and there's an east wind," and the doctor says, "But it's not raining and there's a west wind."
Yeah.
I refer the honourable lady and gentleman to the previous scene outside where it was pissing down.
Well done there, Wilson. I was waiting how long it would take for you to go find that one out.
I mean, the rain was so bad you could hear it.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
for rain to be visible and audible on TV takes a lot of rain.
Yes.
And then the irony is, at the execution scene in episode 4, they're having to fake the rain through sunshine.
Yes, I know, right? It's you'd think
Seriously, all they needed to do was, Fenric's arrival has disturbed the weather patterns.
yeah. Anyway, I'm done.
Yeah, all right. Come on then, the Brian. Tell us what's happening.
Okay,
what is
so
occurring?
I have questions.
Yes, 42 is normally a good place to start.
Excellent.
Right, yeah.
Okay, Fenric.
Yes.
Is this his first episode?
Yep.
He's never gone up against the doctor before?
Nope.
Well, the thing is, as it is kind of covered off in the episode, that Fenric is just the name they give to this entity, and it's basically evil from the dawn of time with many names, and they just
Who's played chess with the doctor before?
that again they refer back to Silver Nemesis and the chess set.
In there.
Okay,
It's
so
always
was it
a-
Silver
always a
Nemesis?
link through them.
Yeah, this is I would say this is a subplot to the Cartmel master plan.
Essentially, the Doctor, in the New Adventures, the Doctor, when he met Ace on Iceland, realised Fenric was back, because Ace is a wolf of Fenric. So he basically gave Mel a telepathic prompt to make her think she can go off in space in a space supermarket with Sabalom Glitz.
Okay.
It was a bit of an odd one, to be fair.
That's why Mum's gone to Iceland.
Yes, quite so.
Okay.
So,
All right. Had to ask that because
no, that's fair.
I hadn't had an
Fenric is
experience
classed
with
as
Fenric before, and he knew the doctor.
Fenric is classed as one of the great old ones, up there with Cthulhu and Nyarlathotep and all that.
This whole era of Doctor Who was trying to bring back some mystery to the character and was introducing a mythology that we hadn't seen before.
Nope.
Okay. All right. That explains that part. Hemivores.
I'm not going
Supposed to
do this
be
toy joke.
You know, they've encountered them before,
No,
No.
but they've encountered them before.
Who?
The doctor.
No. This is their first outing.
Right, but they've said they've encountered them before.
I think the Vikings in the ring
Yes.
might have encountered them.
Yes, because the evil death followed them.
Okay.
But
right.
the Doctor, again, this is one of the things they did.
And
with
the
McCoy's
ancient
Doctor.
one, the same deal?
Same
the
deal.
ancient one was brought from the future back to now to lead the Hemivores to do whatever they were doing.
The whole idea was it would
But he
become
never
a paradox.
encountered them before.
He basically creates
He creates
himself.
his own future.
Yeah, by dumping a load of toxic stuff in the 40s.
Okay.
And
Oh, on the topic of the toxic stuff.
yes,
Yes.
They've got enough toxic stuff to poison the world, right?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
at the end, they just let it blow up.
Yes. Yeah.
I was
Moving
wondering
along.
when you'd first spot that, Wilson.
Moving along. Okay, so the baby was.
But no. Those were not the bombs, all right? The toxic stuff wasn't in those bombs. If you look at those bombs, they're not bombs. They're just wall decoration.
I know, yes, but
Uh-huh.
okay.
That's how
So
we're
the
getting
baby
out of that
was
one.
Ace's mother.
Yeah, now I have a problem with the baby as well. Not a problem as such, but Ace says 13 Streatham Road or whatever the hell
Old
it
Terrace.
is.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So she says, if you turn up, my nan will look after you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If somebody turned up on my doorstep saying, your non-existent granddaughter told me to come here with my baby and says that you'll let me live with them, I'm not quite sure what my reaction would be.
You want to know what's even weirder?
Go on.
She told that to her nan.
It could be that 13 Old
The
Terrace
baby's
Streatham
mother is her grandmother.
was unoccupied.
I could, well, okay. I was assuming that something happens to the mother in between now and then, and that the baby is, yes, but you know, it's a good point. Like, it's not explained. I'm making stuff up.
It's all right, you're allowed.
Uh-huh.
You're
Yeah,
very good at
that
it.
was another one of my questions.
What, is Sinister making stuff up? Yes, he is.
And just an observation. So Ace gets her swerve on with that soldier.
Yeah, she's not a little girl.
Yeah.
That bit really blew me away. That was like, whoa, hang on. What are we watching now? This is
Yeah.
Chat-up lines are interesting.
She's really bad at it too, thank God.
However,
Uh,
this leads me to ask you two something.
hmm.
Dangerous Undercurrents. What was part of Ace's story in this story? And it's finished off right at the end.
She likes to swim.
No, it's a sexual awakening as a woman.
Oh.
She's putting everything behind us. She's an adult now. There you go.
Meow. Just saying. I'm 6'4".
Cultural depth.
That went way over my head too.
Cultural depth. You can tell I read a load of fanzines back in the day, can't you?
What's your next question, Brian?
Yeah, come on.
I think that was about it, other than the fact that how the hell did the Hemivores come about?
I think they are the remains of the Viking crew.
Right, they're the families that descended from the Viking survivors. But
Well,
how did they mutate into...
I think the ones underwater are possibly the crew, and then
Yes.
the ones from the graveyard are just the stiffs that were buried there in the hundreds of years since.
Yes, and then the two girls are just descendants of...
Oh, weren't
of
they
the
fun
crew.
at a convention?
But how did they morph into the whole bad nails?
It's a
They're
thing that could-
vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, how?
How does a vampire turn into a bat?
Smoke and mirrors, cheap gypsy tricks.
There you go.
Reflected sunlight.
I still don't know how they became vampires.
So basically, you're sitting here having a problem with the supernatural part of a science fiction / fantasy television story.
Which I normally don't have trouble with. I can normally figure that stuff out, but this episode
you've
was
hit on
very
the point.
disjointed.
You've hit on the point.
It's I think it goes back to what I was saying. It's disjointed because they didn't have enough time.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you cut from the opening title sequence in episode 1, and we're already halfway through it in one of the incidental music themes.
Yep.
You know, the editing on this is so tight. If they had, the only thing I can think of is lose a couple of the concepts, lose the ancient one.
The Cartmel era did have a big problem with overwriting, and quite a few Cartmel stories. If you see them on DVDs or whatever, you'll find that there's a load of extra cut footage that they didn't have time to fit into the allotted 25 minutes and however many seconds or whatever it is for each episode. Hence the various special editions of Curse of Fenric and Battlefield, etc. They did too much.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help but think that a lot of this era was also kiddified a lot,
Yes.
and they basically did that in order to kind of drive fans away or make them feel relief that it was actually over.
It's an interesting point. The thing is, like I was saying, the show was really finding its feet again. Season 25 was the start of it, and season 26.
If this episode had been left intact and actually fleshed out properly, it would have rivaled the Demons.
Have we done Ghostlight yet?
I don't believe we've done Ghostlight.
Okay, we need to do a bit more season 26 then, because there's a lot of things at play this year.
The thing to bear in mind is it was finding its feet again, but that was no thanks to the BBC.
No.
It was against all the odds. So I mean, this has been said, I think, by the man himself, John Nathan Turner. When the series got cancelled, he thought he was going to lose his job, and they just said when eventually they brought it back, they left him in charge because they didn't care.
Yeah, they said they couldn't find anybody else to produce it, so if he wanted a job, he'd have to produce Doctor Who, otherwise he could go, and they cancel the show.
Yeah, so basically he hung on for a long time to much criticism at the time.
Yes.
And he was basically the one kind of keeping it alive, really, because if he'd said, no, I don't want any more, they'd say, fine, we'll just scrap the whole thing.
I just love the fact that it is a fascinating thing. It's very similar with Tom's Doctor, but it's more so with a case of JNT. JNT had several script editors working under him. You had Christopher H. Bidmead in Series 18, and as we'll see next week, had a particular vibe to it. Then there was Saywood, but there was somebody else as well whose name escapes me. He was only on it for a very short time. And then Saywood, and I've said it before, say it again, Saywood does not understand Doctor Who properly. He understands action adventure, but he doesn't understand Doctor Who. And they had a acrimonious relationship, him and JNT. The good thing about this, the takeaway from this, is there he is. He's trapped producing this program. He can't. If he goes, the show goes. He'd be the man who killed Doctor Who. So he gets a bright, young script editor in, who's got all his plans, knows what he wants to do. He's got a couple of mates who are bloody brilliant, and the three of them work it out together. And the show just started clawing its way back up. BBC, of course, put it up against the highest rating programme of the week. Of course they did. It was kiddified slightly. There were big problems during Colin Baker's time with violence.
Basically, in the late 80s, the BBC cared so little for science fiction.
Yes.
They spent multiple millions of pounds on a brand new sci-fi show called Star Cops, which, despite the very cheesy name, is basically it's quite intelligent detective drama set in a realistic near future space environment. And they buried it. They buried it on BBC Two in a graveyard slot and never. And it, although so it had a Radio Times cover, but they did fuck all to promote it.
No, it's very true.
They didn't care. The whole management of the BBC did not care about sci-fi.
The BBC was changing during the 80s, going from what it was in the 70s, basically men in tweed sitting down smoking,
ex-RAF people,
drinking and whatever, to 80s whiz kids who didn't have time for nostalgia, didn't have time for science fiction because it wasn't real. And like I said last week, they only did 2 series out of the 3 tripods. They did what the Sinisters just said to Star Cops.
It's a wonder that Red Dwarf started in '88. It's a wonder
that was a BBC Two job. That was
Yeah.
a sneaky BBC. Well, Star Cops was BBC Two as well. I seem to remember.
It was put onto BBC Two. It was drama though. It was drama department. Star Cops was also in Manchester.
Well, no.
Sorry, Red Dwarf was in Manchester.
Yes.
I mean,
yes, exactly. Oh, and good luck to Craig Charles, who announced yesterday he's got the COVID.
Oh,
so good luck to him there. And Manchester were able to do their own thing with it. I mean, that started out, it had to claw for its position. But look at Blackadder, that had to do the same as well.
I watched the first series of Red Dwarf, and I thought I liked it, but I thought this is very niche. This isn't going to survive.
They're still making it now.
Well,
I've been enjoying the Dave stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
It's been good.
A lot of the Red Dwarfers don't like the new stuff. I don't. I think it's good quality stuff there. It's good quality stuff there.
They're rimmering it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
they're just megheads.
So, Curse of Fenric. Any more questions, Brian?
Let's see. We ended with Ace getting her swerve on, so we're good.
Righty-ho.
I was just like, oh dear God, she's talking about a watch and trying to flirt, and this is a thing, correct?
Ace's chat-up lines have raised eyebrows, to be fair.
I did like the concept of it's not the symbol that drives vampires away. It's the faith. The faith. I liked that. I thought that was nice.
That actually is pretty standard in a lot of vampire, at least shows and stuff.
Was it Kronos the Vampire Killer? That had Alfie
Captain
Bass.
Kronos?
That had Alfie Bass as one of the a Jewish vampire.
Yes.
And he holds forth the crosses. Boy, have you got the wrong vampire.
No. It was, I want to say Fearless Vampire Killers.
You're right. You are right.
Yeah.
Yep. No, fair enough. Fair dues.
Another good one to watch would be pretty much any Hammer horror with Peter Cushing. Because candlesticks, man. Candlesticks.
Just
Okay. I'm not well up on my vampire lore.
I'm not very good with Hammer films, to be honest with you. I always found them a little bit naff.
It's not bad. It's just weird.
It's sacrilege, I know.
It's 70s stuff, because you gotta figure most of these were written with like 3 lines of coke in between each scene. Because I'm looking at some of them like Vampire Circus, and it's like, really? Okay.
What was I going to say? You need to try and find a program, might be on YouTube, called The Cricklewood Greats, presented by Peter Capaldi, who goes through the story of the Cricklewood film studio, with some amazing footage. And there was no Cricklewood film studio. This is Peter Capaldi having fun. He's basically spoofing the stories of Ealing and
Pinewood.
Shepperton, Pinewood, Elstree, and spoofing the films they made as well, including Quatermass. And it's just this labour of love. It's done completely straight. And it's this brilliant fake documentary. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. If you guys look at the 90s Dark Shadows and stuff. Yeah. Oh dear God. They went too far, too fast, too soon in that show. One season, everything crammed into it at once.
I probably didn't know they were going to get a second one.
They knew they weren't getting a second.
There we go. It's like B5, you know. It's a case of we're only going to get 4 years. Cram it all in. Oh,
yeah.
That's another
They end
year.
up doing what, 6?
No, 5.
They did 5, but the
Plus
last
movies.
series was a bit crap
Because
the last one was Aftermath, and that just didn't really work.
yeah.
Gentlemen,
However, Crusade wasn't that bad.
I liked Crusade. I think it was JMS. I was waiting for all the hints and the clues, and they were there.
They were there.
They were there. Can I just point out we've been going 55 minutes so far, and we've managed to review one thing. By the way,
We had a rant.
we had a couple of good.
We did
rants.
have a rant to
Yeah.
begin with, but really we're going in depth on this whole Doctor Who era for
For once.
Sylvester McCoy. I mean, we're really having a discussion.
Yes. It's good. It's good quality stuff, this
Doesn't
is.
feel natural for this show.
It's quality
It
stuff,
doesn't.
this. This is good debate.
Right.
This is a good hour.
Our
Good
finest
evening,
hour.
America. I'm Walter Cronkite. Sorry, Bri.
That was the worst American.
Yeah, it
Accent.
started out as not trying to be American.
Worse than
That's the
Terry.
thing. Halfway through the sentence, I thought, I wonder if I can actually get anywhere near Cronkite.
Oh,
And it-
Question for Brian. What do you
Huh.
think of Perry's American accent?
That was an American accent.
There we go then. Is that done?
Isn't she meant to be from New York?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know.
It's horrible.
Well, I want
To be fair, New York has a lot of people in it, and a lot of different ethnicities and people from everywhere. So, she could be British from New York. She could speak with a British accent from New York. That's
And what's the
entirely
accent you're
reasonable.
putting on this evening? What's the accent you're putting on this evening?
exasperated.
That's a good little accent. It goes just over the E. It's like a little
You'll
train
notice
tack.
it's the same one I used during the RPGs.
Yes.
Thank you for drinking the tears, by the way.
That don't mention it. I saw it and thought of you.
Thank you. Thank you. But no, Lauren Cohen from The Walking Dead. She has a British accent.
Oh, there's an awful lot of. I mean, look at Preacher.
What about Jamie Bamber from Battlestar Galactica? He's British.
Yeah, he has a good American accent.
Yeah.
It's
What about
quite
Hugh
weird.
Laurie?
Again, a good American accent, but these are professional actors,
Actors.
not in the 80s.
You have to stand with your legs far apart and bellow. Oh!
Or have a cane and just hit people.
That's what Sylvester does at conventions now. He pokes
Nothing wrong
people
with
with
that.
his stick.
To be fair, he's earned it.
Yeah, fair. Anyway, so, right, now. Okay, good. Thumbs up for Curse of Fenric? Okay, thumbs up for Curse of Fenric. More thumbs the longer the version we watch is. All right?
Yes.
Now then. Oh, hell. I've got to do this one on my own. This is the
Yes.
Big Finish review. It's Fifth Doctor set, and we run into a problem. Or rather, I do. You need to really have heard some of the stories before it, because it's finishing off an arc of the Doctor, Tegan, and Nyssa getting over the death of Adric. Now, the first story, interesting.
Was he over Machu Picchu?
He never got over Machu Picchu.
He was over everything.
But it's,
So is this occurring between Earthshock and Time Flight?
now you see that's what I've been thinking, because Janet's outfit, or described for audio, has her wearing shorts like the white shorts from Arc of Infinity. I don't know, but yet there's still a close reference. I'm not sure. To be honest with you, it's
Well,
probably made more specific in one of the earlier audios.
It ought to be, because by the time she comes back in Arc of Infinity, she's been gone at least a year, having been left on Earth by accident. And if she hasn't got over Adric by then, she's never going to, which makes me wonder. I reckon she fancies
Well,
him.
anytime
So
she
anyway-
goes to, a paleontology thing, she's going to be reminded of Adric.
Hoovers. The Hoovers hold a big finish day. You can always go up there to Derby and ask. That would be a good one. I'd like to see that. No, you make fair points there. So anyway, they land in this place and they're not sure where this is. They've picked up a new companion, a guy from Roman times called Mark. Unfortunately, he got partially converted into a Cyberman in a previous story, as you do. But he's all right. However, this place is supposed to be a sort of a health spa. But it seems like they're the only ones there, but there are ghosts. And that's when the ghost of Adric turns up. And I'm going to say this now. This is Matthew Waterhouse's best performance as Adric. Full stop. He's
That could
superb
hardly
in
in
it. No, he is. It's almost a different character. And it's a case of, God, I wish he could have been like this more. But it's Matthew Waterhouse knocks it out of the park. So that's one good thing. And it's a good story as well, to be fair. Makes sense. Things are tied up. The next one's a bit more fun. It's a two-parter, this one. The last one's a four-parter. Which is... can't remember her name. Nelly somebody or other was trying to go around the world beating 80 days. Even though it's a fictional thing. The idea was to get around the world, be the first woman anyway, around the world in less than 80 days. And it's basically the Doc and Co turning up towards the end of this, trying to stop her rivals sabotaging her attempts. And so that's fair enough. And then the last one is Nightmare of the Daleks. I'll let you work out for yourselves what the monsters might be in this one.
Is it about somebody trying to find an exclusive release in a small discount supermarket chain?
Yes.
I'm sending that to Big Finish's Twitter. Right.
Yes, it was.
This is an interesting one. Again, only 2 episodes. Basically, they're out on a rig on a planet in the middle of wet water thing stuff. And the staff, the crew of this rig, are contractually mandated to use a sleep pod for 8 hours every day to get the proper amount of sleep and this, that, and the other. The trouble is they're starting to die when they do that because there's something in their nightmares. And I'm looking at 2 of the bastards right now on that screen.
3.
Oh, yes, 3. However, this is a new thing for the Daleks, and it's fascinating, and to a certain extent reminds me of the Stone Tape, a Nigel Neal play. I don't want to give this away. This is difficult. However, as Big Finish say on their site, the Daleks' worst nightmare turns up. The Doctor. This is a good set. I enjoyed it. I found it fairly easy to pick up, not having heard the rest. But I'm sure having heard the rest, it would have been better. It would have been, I'd known more about what was going on and whatever. But no, is this one recommended? Yeah, I'd say if you like your Davison, it is good. There's some corking moments. And they're making... Janet Fielding has become so comfortable with Tegan. It's almost like it's Janet in your ears rather than Tegan. Some of the things she says to Davison is how Janet would say to Davison rather than Tegan would say it. And it just makes it even better. I don't know why. But anyway, that's the Fifth Doctor box set. Go out and get it. Don't know what we're doing next week. Hang on a moment. Let me have a look. Beep. I don't know what's going to be coming out. That's the trouble with Big Finish. I know there's a Torchwood, and we've still got to do. Oh dear, the something of Det Sen. Oh, Robin Hood, the complete series. There's a Torchwood, I reckon I will be getting.
Ryan, how do you say Robin Hood?
Robin Hood?
Yeah, I thought you'd say it like that.
Yeah.
Incorrectly.
I'd like to. I'm interested.
It's Robin
fascinated
Itherhood.
by this. Where I don't know where it's come from. Where Americans, you will stress the first syllable, and will stress the
It
last.
comes from
syllable.
Jeopardy. It comes from Jeopardy because they put such force on the "what is such and such," please, Mr. Trebek.
It's the evolution of English as opposed to location.
You know the theory about
Devolution?
the American accent, don't you?
Hmm?
You know the theory about the American accent.
Are you determined to go, Brian? You're in for it tonight.
No. The theory
is a
is
safe space.
that the American accent is actually what the British accent used to be, and it hasn't changed. And yet we've changed. That's the theory.
That's not a bad theory, considering how long we've
That's
been
not a bad
around and how
theory.
long America's been around. Because our stuff hasn't really changed that much in 200 years. A bit of a fi and a foof and whatever. But it became very, 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 very polite, and then the 60s happened.
Yeah, how do you go from colonizing the world to telling people to go back to their own country?
I know, right?
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
Nothing to do with me. The sheer and utter naked hypocrisy of the Conservative Party and the government is stunning. Beaten only by your Republicans.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
Putin.
they're fucked.
Oh, I wonder how the Russian election went. I wonder how many votes he decided he was going to have this year.
All
They
of
had
them.
a vote.
Yeah.
I thought they just flipped the switch and said, "Oh, he won."
As good as.
It's like the Wheel of Fortune, but all the slots have Putin's name on them.
Well, no, you got Putin. You got shirtless Putin. You got Putin on a horse. You got Putin wrestling a bear.
Yeah.
You got shirtless Putin wrestling a bear. You got shirtless Putin on a horse.
Wrestling
Yeah,
a bear.
Karate wearing Putin. Yeah.
Exactly. You got shirtless Putin on a horse wrestling a bear riding Trump. So it's how things go.
If you're interested in that calendar, please get in touch. Oh dear. Oh, very, very, very dear. I was going to say the Jeopardy wheel Wheel of Fortune wheel should have one gap. And if you hit that gap, you go to prison for being in opposition. Or you get poisoned.
You mysteriously disappear.
Yes.
From everything.
You know, you're still our only viewer.
Usually I
Yeah.
am.
Oh.
Yeah.
What happened to
Retta, yeah, what happened to Retta? That's
Oh,
what
we
we
started talking Doctor Who.
Oh. Does she not like Doctor Who then?
She's not into it.
Then why does she watch?
To hang out with us.
But why?
Stop it. I'm working on it, all right? I'm working on it. Because part of me thinks
So that
that's
she
actually a famous
knows
actress.
exactly what information she can blab to the rebels
Yes.
about everything we do.
Yes. That girl has got a mouth.
All
on her.
hail the holy hobo.
I'm a deity now. Did you know that?
Are you?
Yeah, you always wanted to rule the world. Well, I'm a bloody deity.
I don't believe in religion.
I believe in me. I'm the holy
No one
hobo.
else does.
Retta believes in me. She'll learn.
Hang on. That means you don't exist.
I
Because proof
refuse
denies
to
faith.
prove that I exist.
Proof denies faith, and without faith, you are nothing. Therefore, you don't exist.
Oh, hell,
If
I
you're
hadn't thought of that.
omnipotent and omniscient, create some knowledge that you don't know.
Yeah.
What and tell you? I'm a deity. The sort of knowledge that I know, it would blow your minds.
Oh, you're a classical deity.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
like
yeah.
the Roman and
I'm
Greek.
none
little
of the
G,
Wrath stuff.
Small
None of-
G.
forget the
Okay,
Wrath.
all right.
Forget the Roth stuff. I'm not going to rain pillars of salt down on you.
Okay. Small.
I might
small
kill
G.
one
We're-
small
we're
child.
okay with small G.
I might kill one small child.
I'm coming for you.
That's why I want to kill that particular small child. Sorry, in case anybody's watching, it's not a real child, it's from the role-playing game. Who someone turned my joke back on me rather spectacularly. Let's call everything Colin. Okay, I'm going to create somebody called Colin, this little child called Colin. It's going to annoy you.
Are you my mummy?
It's almost up there with that. Why,
No,
mummy?
she and Spanky are
Bill.
coming up with a family group.
I'm pretty sure the girl is a famous actress, or nowadays. I am.
You can actually tell the moment the aneurysm hits.
Ooh, wouldn't joke about that. I got to see the doctor. Oh, it's a carrot. It's the Doomsday Machine out of Star Trek.
Yes.
Do you
When,
know what's
when we
inside-
went up against it, we had ship models, and Keith didn't have a model for the Doomsday
It's a
Machine.
bunny.
So he used a carrot. That was
It's
the Doomsday Machine,
the
carrot of doom.
doom.
which then became a section on the Staggering Stories website for our rough anthology nonsense.
It's the carrot that eats the universe. Yeah, that's pretty deep.
Have you seen Shang-Chi yet?
No.
Okay, neither have I. I wish to. Unfortunately, my normal Marvel partner, Adam, does not wish to come. He's not
I
into the
don't
whole-
want to go to the movie theater.
Well, that's part of my problem as well. I mean,
I refuse to go to a place where I'm trapped in a room with people that refuse to get vaccinated or wear masks.
I have heard nothing about any COVID infection coming out of Hooverville.
That's because they all died.
They went looking for a little Cyberman head and got shot.
No, it wasn't a Cyberman, it was a Cyberon. Seriously, BBC,
Cyberon,
calm
yeah.
down.
Yes, but when I tell the story to people who are the not we,
Yeah.
I say Cyberman because I'm not
Yeah.
going into that whole fucking rabbit hole.
Yeah, they don't know the difference. I mean, I have technically a ton of not Transformers, but when I tell them I have Transformers, they understand.
Yep.
Do watch. Right. Hands up who watched Doomwatch. Good. Right. We may have a discussion yet, though I suspect I know how it's going to go with Brian. Let's wait and see, shall we, boys and girls? So, what happens? Oh, yes. On a little island somewhere, I'm still not entirely certain where,
Why is it always a little island?
enclosed community. But it just makes for plotting a lot better. Otherwise, I have to start talking about roadblocks everywhere. And anyway, somebody's dying of yellow fever at this health spa. How in the
No,
world?
I thought yellow fever was wiped out years ago.
Well, that's what we thought. Turns out there's a nutty scientist who's been experimenting with a form of biological insecticide which kills the mosquito.
Ketsy fly.
Yeah, damned tsetse flies. And unfortunately, it's passed up the food chain, including the rather large blue spider, which I didn't like. And as a result, people are being bitten by different insects, and they're succumbing to yellow fever. And so, in Go Doomwatch, there's a little bit of action where they try and get the rogue scientist safe.
That is a rogue scientist.
Thank you. I love it when you do that. There's a rogue Cyberman on level 5. Stop it. I was so disappointed Mark Hardy wasn't in Attack of the Cybermen. Right. I thought this was a step up. I think Doomwatch is heading in the right direction. But what do you think, Brian?
I pretty much checked out once I realized it was coming from the spiders and stuff, and that his mysterious alternate non-chemical pesticide was a virus that was infecting the Yeah, I checked out
Fair enough.
halfway through.
You're allowed.
Actually, pretty much at the start when he started with that whole spider. But we created this alternate pesticide. It's not chemical based. Well, then it's a virus, and the virus is now in the spiders, and the spiders are eating and biting people. And oh hell, look, I'm right. They're all just
I've
dying.
come up with a new pesticide that's neither chemical based nor virus based. Do you know what it's called?
Fairy liquid.
Fire.
Oh.
You may have to patent that.
Right.
Um,
You'll be pleased to know that there are just 8 episodes of Doomwatch left.
Oh, thank God.
However, I know we've been discussing what we're going to be looking at.
Hang on, I interrupted Brian. I don't know if he'd finished. Sorry, Brian.
It's okay.
Don't be so. Don't be so gracious. Tell him off. Oh God.
Yeah.
God. Have your balls? Has your cousin's friend's balls swollen to enormous sizes?
What?
Possibly.
Have you not heard this?
No.
Adam hadn't heard about the horse worming stuff, so I told him.
Oh,
about
the
that.
horse worming stuff. Yes.
There's that.
Ivermectin.
But there is some. I'm not going to say singer because I've seen her and she's auto-tuned to fuck. But she's quite famous somewhere, and she said that she wasn't going to take the vaccine because her cousin's friend in Trinidad had the vaccine. His balls had swollen up, and his wife had called off the wedding.
Well, my balls haven't swollen up, but the other part has. So I mean, I'm just saying, hit me up. I'm available for, lunches, dinners.
I really feel ill. Pre-that. So, yeah, that's the latest news from America's vaccine situation. It's led to various peoples having to actually, officialdom having to actually issue a reply about her cousin's friend's testicles, which it's amusing to watch, but makes you.
I think
die
I would rather
inside.
people get yellow fever than have to take horse dewormer.
So, how are we doing with Doomwatch? Is it getting better? Is it not?
Not really.
Oh,
It's-
okay. Well, we
pretty-
only got 8 left.
I like more science fiction in my science fiction.
What if I was to propose a spy thing?
A spy
A
thing?
spy series. A very gritty.
Prisoner.
Gritty. No, we've done The Prisoner.
Have you?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
We've
done quite a lot,
And
actually.
I drink a lot.
Yeah. On that last show. Did you hear about the last show? For Fallout, we decided to do a live reaction. It's up there on YouTube. And we gave Brian a drinking challenge. Everybody, anytime somebody says the word I.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he was
I
plastered.
had to refill
He was
this
plastered.
Right.
twice.
Right.
I am an evil cow. I really am. We won't do that. Don't worry, because when's our next one? When we're all going to get together and do one. You see, I'm tempted to do Terminal, but I
What?
don't think it's as important an episode.
No, we should do it on the final.
Yeah, the final episode. All right, okay, good. Oh yes, we're going to talk about Blake Seven. Yeah, I got all that up so I could tell us what next week's Doomwatch was called. And then I thought, I'll put it back onto that instead. Hang on, I'll tell you. Next week's
Please.
Doomwatch is called In the Dark.
So it's going to have nothing to do with darkness. It's
The
going to have
thumbnail-
nothing to do with blindness.
Thumbnail of 2 guys in a little dinghy, rowing dinghy, at sea. So, nope,
Okay then.
no idea at all. But I'll sort that out. Right. That's not what I'm after. Oh, my back is bloody killing me as well. What am I after? That. Right. So, moving on. We're doing well.
Okay.
We're doing well.
Blake 7.
Yeah. And I immediately turn around and say to you, how's Avon's mental health?
Better after this.
You think?
Well, okay. better to a point because he does finally get his revenge.
This
However,
episode does something to him.
it turns out he never really had a reason to get his revenge in the first place.
Yeah. So basically,
And that former friend of his never really had a reason to hate him in the first place.
we better say we watch Rumours of Death, where Avon is going on his mission to try and find out who grassed him up and killed Anna Grant, his girlfriend. Anna's alive and well, big surprise there, and in a very fancy house indeed, under a different name. I know this is really old, but this is such a good one. I don't want to give too much away. It has some really, I should imagine Blake Seven fans would say, classic scenes. You know, how many people did you murder to end up against that wall? It's an old wall, Avon. It waits. It's great stuff. I really enjoy this one. It's like I say, this is a turning point for Avon, and you'll see this slowly coming more to the fore. He once told Callie, I think it was Callie, and I've forgotten what it was.
Is it about trust?
Yeah.
She said
Those
to him,
who trust are not betrayed, only mistaken.
and Avon's response was, "Life expectancy must be pretty short on your planet."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say much more about this because if there's there's more than one Blake Seven episode. I don't want to give the game away. It's this one. Because it is really a good one. It's a follow-up from Countdown, basically, from last year. Anyway, Dr. Sinister, you may go first.
Definitely one of my top 5 Blake Seven episodes. This is one of the reasons why Series 3 of Blake Seven is my favourite, without a doubt.
It's been better than I thought it would be, if I'm honest.
I loved the whole fact that they've rebuilt this old house out of the ruins into the presidential palace, and there's Federation guards running around everywhere. It's really cool.
With waffing?
Yeah, with lots of that kind of stuff. And I also like the fact that so the Federation won the intergalactic war, but got pretty fucked over in the process, right?
Yes.
And we keep dipping into what's happened and the background, and basically the Federation's in such a state at the moment that there's been a revolution on Earth, albeit a failed one, and the Liberator can apparently hang in orbit for a couple of days and nobody seems to give a shit.
Yes. I'm wondering if that was an oversight somewhere.
No, I don't think so. I think they've got bigger fish to fry.
I think their internal systems are just so screwed up
Hang on a second. There's not just that. There was, I don't know if they're still able to use it, but wasn't it in Series 2 Avon invented some sort of scanner block just to make ship scanners blind to the presence of the Liberator?
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that was a permanent thing or whether that's something that it's a bit like the cloaking device in Star Trek. There's constantly new innovations coming out, but it's always got around. It's like modern day radar and counter electronic warfare and stuff. You know, it's an ongoing thing. I don't know. Anyway, but they seem to hang around in orbit, and nobody seems really to care much. We don't even see the bridge of the ship in this episode.
The flight deck?
No, it's mostly the teleport room.
Did you notice the relationship between Avon and Villa in this one?
Well, I was going to come on to that. There's a bit more warmth there.
Mm-hmm.
Villa gives Avon a drink a couple of times, and Avon seems genuinely grateful, to him. And I think a lot of that's come about after City at the Edge of the World, where Avon was on Villa's side as far as Tarrant was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the bit when they teleported down to the planet, and you could see them working together as a crew.
Yep.
And they actually infiltrated that building pretty damned easily because they worked together. You know,
Tarrant standing in full panto pose,
doing the Yeah.
By the way, on a scale of 1 to 100, how awful was Tarrant this week?
He's all right.
Eh,
Okay.
Mid-20s.
he's
Mid-twenties.
tolerable.
Tolerable.
Tolerable Tarrant. I also like the two guys in the security, in the surveillance room, the major.
Yes.
They're namby-pamby, rinky-dinky little security.
Well, it's interesting because you've almost got a Robert Holmesian kind of
have.
dialogue going on there with
Yep.
two side characters. And I love the line that Tarrant gives to the major. Yes, you're dying, major, but that's what you're paid for. I've always liked that line.
Use it often?
No, but I will. I need to find a major.
Promote somebody.
Well, I'm sure you can substitute any rank, really.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you got to be accurate. Plus,
And-
there's the extra thing of, I've been promoted to major. I know you're dying, major, but
That's what you're paid for.
yeah.
But and the fact that so Avon has been on this quest for a while to avenge the death of somebody
Ever
he
since
thought-
season 1.
Yeah, somebody he thought was dead, who it turns out was not only not dead, but may have had something to do with him being caught in the first place. Or even though she says, I was only ever Anna with you.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, I said, I mean,
Well, she was a double agent.
Yeah.
But
But she was Anna Grant. She was still Mr. Grant's sister from
Yeah.
series 2.
oh yeah, that's her
back then, she then got
real
married.
identity, but she's been running Avon since
I think she's a triple
forever.
agent.
Well, this is the thing: she was clearly well ensconced within the upper echelons of
Yes.
the Federation security services,
Yes.
and has subsequently decided that it's not for her.
Mhm.
Anyway,
No, she's a triple agent because she's basically the Federation's agent who's running Avon, who thinks she's something else, and also she ends up leading a rebellion.
yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
triple
think she
agent's
was.
wrong.
I don't think she was rebellious at that time. I think
No,
it's,
I think that's come on to her since.
I think it's an opportunity that's arisen.
And again, as we've noticed,
I
in
just
other-
think she really hates Sutherland. So
I mean, and we can see that lots of stuff's happened because
I'm never changing it. Don't worry.
because Shrinker, the Federation torturer, says he was temporarily with the Resistance. So he's been looking out for number one the whole time himself.
Yeah.
And what a fitting death that man had.
Yeah. It's not fair.
Wait. May I?
Go on.
If he gone.
Buried alive.
Avon!
However, Avon gave him a way out.
He
Gun.
did give him a way out.
Yes. We would like to say we'll be seeing different views on things.
What?
Right. I'm sorry. Sinister.
But what I love though is when they teleport back down to Earth to the cave, Avon's obviously had this thing set up for a while with the
Well, yeah. I mean, right at the start, he says to Villa, "Is it all set up properly?"
yeah. But and also the other thing I liked is the scene where the crew are tormenting Shrinker as they're kind of walking around
Yes.
in a chorus kind of
Yeah.
thing. Did they scream? Did they, that kind of thing? And that was very well done, I thought.
Mm.
It's-
having none of it.
It's a superlative episode. There's lots of action and fighting and stuff in it, and the final scenes with Avon, Servalan, and another person are just
That's Servalan, isn't it?
Servalan. Yes,
Servalan. Yes, good.
Yeah.
it's
Not unlike Metebolus.
Servalan, as in the name of a Google farm, Serverland.
Yes.
Yes. We actually.
In the North
copyrighted
Sea
that
on
yet.
a oil platform.
Yes,
I really think we should. The Servalan. I really think we should.
I actually think they've done that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No, I think I remember reading about it like in the early 2000s, how there's an oil platform in, I want to say the North Sea, that it's outside in international waters. It's been converted into a data farm. and it has its own little mercenary force patrolling
I
it so
did not
that
know
it
about
doesn't
this.
get
Yeah.
taken over.
I knew
I
about
don't think
Sealand.
I don't think it's an oil platform. I think it's the remains of an anti-aircraft battery. There were a number of anti-aircraft batteries built in the sea so that when the Luftwaffe came over from Norway, they could have an early line of defense. I think it's one of those.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
I only know of Sealand, which you can't get on now because it's rusting away.
Yeah.
However, they got officially recognised as a country by Germany. But well, I think they'd invited.
Actually, if we wanted to do Serverland, wouldn't we run the risk of being taken over by Sea Devils?
Oh no, I have a particular audio thing that'll stop that.
Oh, okay.
Is it the music from the Sea Devils?
It's the music from the Sea Devils, yes. I'm not stupid. I knew Malcolm Clark did that for a reason, for the future, to save us. What a visionary. Yeah, Brian, do talking, please. Good.
Yeah.
Guppy fish at feeding time. So, what did you make of the Blake 7?
I liked it. I like Avon getting his revenge. I like how he did it. I like how he planned it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, he gave the guy a way out at the end. You're not leaving here alive. Ever.
Nope.
And that was poetic based on how many people whose lives he's destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, there's one more life to be destroyed. That was Avon's.
Yes.
And just finding out what he did find out, he's broken.
He's not, well, actually, broken. He's not a broken man, but something has snapped in his head.
Yeah.
You will see this.
Something just
Character development.
not really known on this show.
Oh no, that character development goes right up to the end.
Yeah.
It really does. Avon is the star. There's no two ways about it.
His former obsession is now replaced with a new obsession.
Yes, he gets a new obsession.
Yes.
Have you started watching ahead again?
No.
Oh, good boy.
No.
We're watching Sarcophagus
Yeah, I know.
next week. Stop
Now-
looking at the titles!
I've said this before, it's no secret. Sarcophagus is my favourite Blake 7 episode.
Well, this is going to be interesting because I've heard ups and downs and downs and ups about it. So
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what Brian makes of it, especially the first 5 minutes.
hat, a butterfly, nice brooch.
Yeah, I can't say much more, but it does all make sense.
Perhaps a set of earrings, maybe a necklace.
Very nice hat.
I could sell it on Etsy.
You see, we are what you get if you order a podcast or a YouTube show from Wish.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you get.
After months and months of waiting, you get us.
So, yes. Oh my God, we've reviewed shit.
I know, right?
Wow.
We've reviewed everything.
Yeah, in half an hour. We
Did
spent
you have
55 minutes.
anything-
Hour and a half.
Do you have anything to say about Rumours of Death?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I normally say my bit at the start.
Do the Daleks
When
have
I-
anything to say about the rumors of death?
Was
Cat's
that
ass.
Cattail? Was that a big shadow?
Oh.
That was a cat's ass. Hey, oh, by the way, how's that project coming?
Oh, I haven't started it yet. I've had real world stuff to deal with.
Okay, well, when you get there?
Okay. I'm just looking forward to you playing a game within a game. That's going to be fun. It's
Hello,
a game.
Chestnut.
A game within a game. Hello. You've been funny. He's been acting weird. He started sitting outside meowing his head off. And technically I don't mind it, but I'd rather he did it inside because the neighbours won't hear that much. But at the moment he's sort of sat right out there bellowing. And I'm wondering if he's calling for his brother, Mosh. I read a piece on cat grief.
He might be calling.
He could be summoning the mothership.
Here we go.
That could be the cat from another planet.
What? Can you hear this meowing? Pathetic attention-seeking behaviour. Look at this. So what's coming up next week? I will fub-wub-wub. I think next week, at the end of the week, we've got Diablo.
Yes.
However, is that the Saturday or the Friday?
Friday and Saturday.
Right,
And possibly Sunday.
I'll have to skip an hour on the Friday because
You got to do your... Yeah, that's fine.
Two fan dinosaurs.
Oh, no, not that.
Yes, that.
Don't worry. I have to skip some time on Saturday because I have to take the dog to the groomer.
Take the dog for a walk, go and have a poo yourself, maybe a shower, eat
No.
something.
No. Maybe eat, but yeah. We're just Diablo.
Oh, did Siobhan tell you that we found the head of our new Bioterra department this week?
We did indeed, yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Yes, we went out. You see, we went out. Sin's job is in a town very close to mine. And so I thought it
his cover job.
his cover job. And
Yes.
I thought, well, it makes sense if... What are you doing? Maybe we could meet up one day a week, maybe, and just have... Well, I was thinking just a cup of coffee or something, to be honest with you, but Sin wanted dinner. And so I went onto the correct site for it on Facebook. And so I'm trying to not to give away where you work, you see, Andrew.
Right.
And asked, are there any cafes that are open a little bit later? You know, maybe up to 7 or 8 o'clock. Preferably with outdoor seating, etc. Thinking there might be a Greasy Spoon that's opened, The thing about this town is it's very posh. Very posh indeed.
It even has stocks in the town centre.
Yes, that's for Magi.
Did you get to use them at all?
No, they've got a padlock on, unfortunately.
Aww.
But so this cafe turned out to really be more of a restaurant, which apparently we should have booked for. But to get to the point of why we're saying this, we were served by a very delightful young lady, and I cannot remember how it got brought up, but she'd just done her degree in biochemistry, wasn't it? Something like that.
And she'd done a module on bioterrorism.
Oh.
And so since
She's waiting tables, of course.
Well,
Exactly.
we did mention this, that what could possibly go wrong.
We've got a job for you out in Wuhan.
She is looking to get a research grant or something.
So you're saying this young lady is one lab accident away from gaining superpowers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or, because I did ask her, you've got to ask this question of these sorts of people. I did ask her that if she'd created a virus in her lab, something contagious, would she allow its use?
Yes, if she held in her hand
Yes.
a capsule that contained such power.
Oh dear. The power of life and death over
She was a bit-
everything.
She was a bit bemused by that, but she was a good
It's
sport.
strange. Yeah, she was a very good sport, to be fair. And it was a really nice place. I think it's called K.
Kaya.
Chaos, yeah. Lovely views to it. The food was surprisingly nice. That the menu was all fancy stuff. The sort of stuff that's not proper food.
It said burger 12.
I was sitting there trying to work this. It's a simple code. The number is how many pounds it costs you.
Oh. Oh.
I
one
thought
of
that was
those
the
places.
number you had to give to them to alert them that you wanted a burger.
No,
Can I have a number 12 burger? No, that's the price.
yeah,
Wait, what?
it didn't specify the units.
Chicks, what are you doing?
We should have just said, well, here's 12 pence. You didn't specify. That's your problem.
No, but it was very nice. But like I say, the menu's too fancy. It's not proper, just good sit-down food.
Have I ever told you my greatest fear in life?
Go on.
Yes,
Going
please.
out to eat early in the week and seeing Gordon Ramsay hovering around the kitchen area early in the week. because you know what that means. That
Kitchen
means
night-
it's still bad, and he hasn't had a chance to fix things.
This
Kitchen
means
nightmares.
that you can get a free meal when it reopens.
It means I could get a free tetanus shot and whatever else shot I need to.
It
after-
also means that you can learn some incredibly inventive swear words.
yes.
I've got my
Cat's
leg crossed. He's balanced on my leg. Oh, no, now I've moved my hands.
no.
It's coming to my hands. I've got a cigarette going as well. I say he's been a bit odd. Hasn't been in that much. Now it's getting a bit cooler. Autumn has autumnumed. This is
Not
great.
here.
Get to see some bats. Hopefully.
We're still mid-summering.
Are you?
You don't
Yeah.
get
Be
careful
autumn.
in
You've
midsummer.
got some
There's
weird
murders.
other word for it. You don't get a proper autumn. You call it fall, whatever.
Foul.
That's because the leaves fall.
It's very
See,
literal.
It's a very literal language. We've said
It's a
this
literal
before.
language, yes.
I love sidewalk.
Yeah,
I mean
that is literally it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does make sense. Trunk. Trunk does make more of a sense than boot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
But you're still wrong, though.
Glove compartment.
Yeah, we say that.
Yeah, we say glove compartment.
Okay, just checking.
No. You drive, what's it? Stick or...
Stick shift.
Stick, shift or automatic.
Yes.
We just drive normal,
Manual.
or automatic. Or those of us with electric
Zebra
cars don't
or
have to worry about
crosswalk.
Zebra crossing.
Zebra crossing. Or what's the other one we have?
I know, lollipop.
Pelican
Pelican crossings, yes, which are essentially the
Yep,
same.
it's just crosswalk.
Two countries separated by one language.
Exactly.
What are you doing? I'm thinking he's starting to think he's a star. Wanting his love.
Well, if you got the other project up and running,
It's going to be very difficult to take photographs of my cat.
not like this. I mean, you could just take stills from this.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, Trixie. What if I should give you a shower? Right. So, do you know what you're doing next week?
Please.
Sure.
Frontios.
Oh.
What were you hoping for?
Not that.
Nightmare in Silver.
Right, so Frontios, that's the Doctor Who story. It's a season 21 story. And it's the one that comes just before Resurrection of the Daleks.
Oh dear.
And features Brian Byrne as the Gravis. It doesn't, but it does on the Brian Byrne Blu-ray. The Doomwatch thing I told you about earlier. We don't know about Big Finish. We've got the Secrets of Det Sen still to listen to.
Oh, good.
Did we tell Brian about what I'd written to Nick Briggs about?
Oh, I feel you should.
I had written to Nick Briggs with an idea for a Dalek story set in a monastery, and I was going to call it Det Seni of the Daleks. Do you see what I did there?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost up there with my... Douglas Adams was writing a sequel to The Underwater Menace, but also The Brain of Morbius. And basically the fish people sought out the greatest surgeon around to try and reverse what had been done to them in Atlantis. And it was called So Long and Thanks for All the Fish People. Sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Not at all.
Thing is, I think I came up with that one myself. I know Edward Arlick's sister Jennifer is from a very old issue of CT. Jenny, Sis of Daleks. It makes sense, trust me. Probably Gary Russell's time editing, maybe. I don't know. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, right. Now, hang on. So we're not sure the Big Finish, possibly the Det Sen thing. Possibly. And then Sarcophagus for Blake 7. And that thing I told you about, Doomwatch.
Yep.
And what I would like you to consider is watching Callan in the future.
No. We've already watched Colin.
No, we haven't, because Eddie wouldn't watch it.
No, I thought we saw some.
Nope.
Why wouldn't he watch it?
It reminded him of
Home.
very boring afternoons.
Yeah. Now here's the other question: how am I going to watch it?
You trust your auntie on that one.
Oh boy.
You trust
Oh
your auntie.
boy. The last time I trusted Auntie, I got Doom Watch.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be
Oh.
interesting to see what you make of this. Remember to give it a fair run, because it's working itself out on that first year. It is also late 60s going into the 70s. But it is an adult spy drama.
Well, once we start with, V and Battlestar and Star Cops, and
We've got a lot.
we have a lot on our plate.
We have a lot to cover. What was I going to say? What were we talking about?
Moonbase 3.
Oh, I've got Moonbase 3. Let's not watch that. Brian will want to just kill me.
No, let's not do that.
What were we talking about? We were talking
Thunderbirds.
No, don't like
No.
Thunderbirds. I'm
Space 1999.
No. Thunderbird movie. They
No.
came out with a movie.
no, because they totally misunderstood the purpose of Thunderbirds.
I know.
It was just, it's about the machines. Don't
It
you
had
understand
Sophie
it?
Miles in it. I'm happy. She played Miss Penelope.
Lady Penelope, thank you. Lady Penelope Crichton Ward. This cat is curled up. Look, I need to move my leg. It's slowly dying on me. Come on, down you go. Good boy.
When it becomes fat, quickly dying, then you can move your leg.
There's something happening next week. Well, we said Diablo 2, didn't we?
Yeah.
A couple of the weeks or days after that, I think it'll probably be the Monday.
What are your
Well,
plans for next week?
Well, I'm probably going to be taking a trip around the home counties.
You're going hunting.
I'm a very dangerous person to be around when I'm hunting Daleks.
Be very quiet. I'm hunting Daleks.
I've put out a few feelers and I'm waiting to see if anything comes back from it. And like I say, I have just spent 23 quid on just getting, if I can find my mouse pointer, which I can't.
And if you find any, I need sensorites.
Where's my...
Doctor, what are you doing next week?
Working. That's it, really. Nothing
This is the
exciting.
chap I'm after, this one, just here.
Might get a haircut.
Oh, are we
Yeah, I
meeting
need
for
one too.
anything? Are we meeting for anything this week?
No, I was thinking maybe a fortnightly thing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, that's good. That means I have 1 week which is very busy and 1 week with nothing.
Only because otherwise I don't get home till after 9 o'clock.
Well, for your nothing week, you could go fishing, do a little fishing,
Throw some beads at people.
flash beads at people.
Take
Get a
clothes
little
off, go
swimming
swimming.
Yeah,
Careful, Icarus.
at least until the weather turns.
Turns into what?
Hell.
Hello. Oh, I was watching Rick and Morty. Been catching up with it.
Which series?
Series 5.
Series 5?
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix?
E4, I think.
Oh, okay.
They do a lot of Adult Swim stuff.
I haven't seen Series 5 yet.
And then I caught a thing with Pete Capaldi's Doctor, and I suddenly realised Pete Capaldi's Doctor is Rick.
Yeah.
Especially that first year. It's, and it's like, sorry, I still love my Capaldi.
So what you're saying is if Adric had been with him, that would have been Rick and Morty.
Yes. Yes, I am. Let's just think about that for a moment.
That would be hilarious.
I wonder if they'd be up for it. If someone ever suggested it to them seriously.
I like Rick's car.
Oh, yes. It's got its own personality. As you will find out if you haven't already. I'll shut up. And there's one episode that I saw and immediately thought of Brian.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. You are basically Rick in that regard. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Good. Glad we're clear on that.
As long as we're clear.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to bugger off?
Almost 2 hours.
I know. All right, then. Let's do the buggering off thing. Let's see if I can actually find the correct video to finish with.
You know you can rename them, right?
Well, that's just the thing. I know them by these names, but I can never remember what they are until I read them, so it doesn't matter. You could call
Put a
them
little
anything
note
you
on the
like.
side of your screen.
I don't know. Anyway, I found it
Name
now.
one the opening, one the closing.
It's not quite like that. I mean, one of them just says goat. I've got two of them that just say Madge. 3 corporates. 2 thank yous. A couple of things for the Judgment of Sinister, or what has Dr. Sinister been up to in the Sinister Manor this week. Oh, you missed a lot. They're all on the Flashing Blade YouTube channel, not this isn't. But, yes, I should try to keep that going rather than just dumping them on my own thing. Oh well. Right, let's go. Say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
And remember, Auntie wants this Dalek just here. Thank you very much. Ta-ta.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
Execute Order John Levine. And cue the goat.